Hey doing guys, Brilliant from BWS TT. Today we are going to be installing a Scorpion exhaust on this Mark 1225. It's a resonated system. Let's do a before clip of a standard system, completely standard. And then you'll have to wait till I've fitted it to get the after. This is going to still have the standard cats on there. Like I say, it's a resonated system, so it's not going to be too loud, but it is going to sound really nice. Yeah, let's get it fitted. So what you'll probably find with your standard exhaust is that the centre joint section will just break away. You're probably not even going to have to undo that. So I'm going to crawl under there with a hammer, and I bet that's all I need. Told you so, didn't I? Right, so access from the rear, we're going to jack it up from the rear diff, and then we're going to put axle stands under each side on the suspension arms, get them up nice and high, give ourselves plenty of room to work on the exhaust, removing the old one, but more importantly giving ourselves room to be tweaking stuff and fitting stuff on the new one. The good thing about the Scorpion is that everything is adjustable. The bad thing about the Scorpion is everything's adjustable. So you've got to sit there for ages making sure everything sits perfectly. But it just means that you will get the perfect fitment on the tips at the back. They're going to sit nicely within the valance. So no fancy unboxing video for you, but let's show you what we've got. We've got the back box here. We've got the section that goes under the rear diff. And then we've got the mid section. At the front here we've got a joiner. So that's to set the system onto a 225 exhaust. It comes with this one as well if you've got a 180. The tips are here separate. So we've gone for the Daytona polished. So yeah, they're both there. And the great thing about these is that because they're on a slip joint, you can adjust the length that they sit out of the car. Yeah, so it's all a really good bit of kit. So all these nice slip joints with decent clamps, decent hardware. It's all in the box, ready to go. So our replacement exhaust system is going to start from this center section here. We've got the silencer that's going to sit there, then we've got the pipe that's going to sit under this gap here, then onto the back box. This part here is actually the reason that we're changing the exhaust, because it's blowing from here. Mounting points. On the 180 variants and on some of the APX, they've got another hanger just this side here. We've got this hanger here. You can see that that will simply come off with a screwdriver placed behind there and just pry it off. And then up here, 213s. And again, 213s there. So the Scorpion system itself is just going to push into these, but I find it easier to just remove it all in one, switch these over to the new system and then put it all up. So for removing the system, I'm going to support it with the jack like that, just to take the pressure. And then I'll undo the bolts either side, undo that, let it lower down slowly and pull it off. Dead easy. So we can see the old system was definitely blowing from that joint there. So if you're prepared, you'll have some WD-40 or something like that to help this slip past. If you're not, you just need to go to your toolbox, grab yourself a flat blade, pop it in the hole like so. There you go. Obviously the same for that side. So what I've done here is I've used the block paving to line up both systems using the pavers as reference points to try and get them sat roughly how it's supposed to be. And then I'll add the back box obviously, but that's just going to help when trying to just offer it straight up onto the car and hopefully getting it in the right place to get it all sit correctly. So that's ready to give it a test fit really. So I'm going to start by putting it into the catalytic converter end and then offering it up to this end. I should probably put the mounts on first, shouldn't I? And then yeah, use the jack to just offer it up into place and see how it all sits. Well, yeah, like I said, the adjustability of it is great, but it's also a pain in the backside because they're quite tight fitting. So once you've got the strain of trying to fit the system, trying to rotate them, as you can see, it's pretty tricky. But I think I'm just about happy with the fitment. Just checking for clearances, checking that everything's sat the angles that I think it should be sat. So as you can see, rotation of this piece here massively changes how close it sits to the heat shield. Let's see if I try and show you that. Hang on. So I'm going to rotate it anti-clockwise as we look at it. So it's basically touching now. I'll go the other way. And get loads of clearance. And then I want to keep this bit basically straight to there. That looks good. It's not touching around there. And then we want to make sure that these are central. I'm going to have to put these other couple of bolts in and see how that looks. But from under here, it looks like it's going to be all right. It's not hanging too low. Oh, it would be so much easier on a ramp. Well, without getting my digital calipers out, that looks pretty central to me. I like to put the clamps round a little bit so that when you look under the car, you're not just seeing just the bottom of the clamp. It looks a bit awful, so you wouldn't want that there. You'd want that sort of round at that angle there, so that you've not got the outline of, yeah, that just looks awful, whereas you won't see that. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Hi. So the exhaust tips are on. Now I'm going to wait for him to get back before we line them up millimetre perfect, but that's roughly where I think they look good. But we'll see what he thinks. Now I know that some people in the comments will be saying, oh, I should have added exhaust paste and things like that. What I've found with these slip joints is that if you do them up the correct tightness, so not overly wrench them so that it starts to bulge and things like that, they don't tend to leak. So it makes for a much cleaner install if you can just slap it on and away you go. But the key to it is, if we show you on this one here, I've made sure that the slits at either side of where this is clamping, and that the bottom of the slit is inside this area here. So sometimes if you put this clamp too far this way, the bottom of the slit can just bulge open and then it can blow past there. So yeah, like I say, don't need to use paste if you set it up correctly. So there it is, fitted. That's the final position that we've gone for on the tips. What do you think, Nick? Brilliant. Yeah, so that's the Scorpion system. Easy to fit, it fits really well, it sounds great. So yeah, if you're thinking about getting one, hopefully that helps you make the decision. Anyway, until next time, I'll see you later. Cheers guys.